so tight. I'll keep waiting for the perfect moment.
Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Also, if you are new, welcome. I want you to imagine walking into your house and it having that sense of calm when you walk in instead of chaos. In today's video, I want to share with you guys the life-changing tips and tricks that I have learned over the years to help maintain my house and keep it cleaner, even with 2 dogs, 4 kids, a husband, and the chaos of life always going on around me. Today, I am starting off in the dog's room. One of the big things I have found to really help, especially if you have animals like I do. You guys saw Bailey laying on this couch before. And then we also have Minnie, our littler dog. And having furniture that I can remove the whole thing and throw it in the washing machine is a huge, huge help. It helps keep the hair and dander down, but also just the smell of animals. We can often go nose blind in our own homes when it comes to our pets. So being able to keep up with any of the fabric surfaces in your house by washing them makes the biggest difference in the world.
Feel the whole world turning. Oh, girl, you're one of a kind. I just can't get you off my mind, and baby, we'd be unshakable. You and me would fit so fine. Just tell me how to make you mine, and girl, we'd be unbreakable.
So when it comes to these sliding glass doors, they definitely get the dirtiest when it comes to glass in our house. Dirtier than any of the windows, any of the sliders, anything. So when I deal with glass that is really, really dirty, I'll be honest, I don't want to have to do a ton of scrubbing. So this is a really, really simple window cleaner. It is just taking vinegar, water, equal parts, and then some Dawn dish soap. You don't need a lot, only about a tablespoon in your water bottle or spray bottle. And then I spray that on. I use a clean mop to scrub it in. This is just what I find to be easier. I am a short girly, and I know a lot of you guys can relate to that. So coming in with this, plus it also gives me just more ability to really put some pressure into it and scrub these windows really, really well. But the nice thing is the vinegar and the Dawn breaks down the majority of it. So on these glass doors, I deal with a lot of hard water. I don't know why these get the hard water the most. I think it's just splashing from pool water, rainwater, but then also dog slobber, because the dogs often will come either to our bedroom door or this door to come inside. But the one thing you will want to do, and I recommend this with almost any window cleaner, is I always have either my mop like you saw, or I will have 2 rags. One rag to clean, and then I take this window washing cloth to just go in and really polish it down. This is the key to getting that streak-free finish. So if you are ever dealing with glass that just is streaky, I highly, highly recommend getting a glass rag. There is specific ones. I just get mine on Amazon. You can just look up glass cleaning rags and use this to finish it off, and it makes a huge difference. I also deal with on my glass, the dog's hair is like staticky. It clings to everywhere, and glass is no exception. So also going in with this, it just allows me to get any random hair that may still be just hanging on by a thread on the glass off of it. Huge difference when you do it like this. But when I go outside, and you're going to see that here in a second, I do the scrub, and honestly, I don't even use the window cloth. I just scrub it and then spray it down with the hose, and that works just as good. But obviously on the inside, I'm not spraying it down with a hose. So if you deal with really hard water or windows that are just filthy, maybe they haven't been cleaned in years, go for the vinegar, Dawn, and water. That's going to make your life so much easier. It's going to take a lot of that scrubbing away from you. But one thing to always keep in mind when it comes to any cleaning product and any situation, Depending on how bad it is, you may have to do it more than once, but also give the windows time to really, or the product time to really work. Often we are in such a rush that we don't give our products time to do what they need to do. And taking that extra couple seconds, or I shouldn't say seconds, give it a couple minutes, and it will make a much easier job of what you are doing.
We went head first into the fire. Watch the flames rise higher, love. We were burning so damn bright, just like a shooting star turns into dust.
Now, my kids range from 12 years old to, well, I guess Athena now is almost 5 months old. That's crazy that she's already almost 5 months old. But with that, so what happens is what's in my house varies in ages, and that can get so chaotic. You can see in this cabinet, we've got tablets, we've got VR sets. I think it is really important to have a charging station, preferably out of sight. We do often end up with chargers on this table, but I have been trying to implement the kids putting it in this cabinet because getting rid of the visual clutter will make cleaning so much easier in the long run. You gotta master the art of being tidy before you can really master the art of being clean. And with that, being able to find a home for everything is what's going to make the biggest difference. And like I've said in the past, declutter, declutter, declutter. And realize it's not going to happen overnight, and that's okay. Don't let social media or what people put out on social media, because that isn't real life. We've got to just kind of figure out what works best for us and our situation at the time. But if you can get to a point where you can do a 10-minute tidy up and have the house feel calm again, that is honestly should be the goal for anyone. I know if someone calls me, says they're on their way over, for the most part, on most days, there's always those rare days, but for the most part, I know I can do a quick 10-minute tidy and not be embarrassed to have someone come into my home. But with that, finding the best routines for you, decluttering, and being consistent. It's not about cleaning all day, every day for hours and hours and hours. It's about just consistency. If you do a little bit every single day, it makes the biggest difference in the world. Also, how many of you have fans that look like this? If you've been with my channel for any length of time, you know I clean my fans on a regular basis, but they get dirty so quickly. And I think part of it is that we do run our fans all the time. We are definitely a family that we love our ceiling fans. I especially, if I'm in bed or sitting on the couch, I need air movement to be comfortable. So when the fans do finally get turned off and I see how filthy they are, I am always in such shock. But when it comes to dusting anything, if you are dusting something, especially if it has a lot of buildup, highly recommend dry dusting first before you clean it. If you take either the Swiffer dusters or even just a dry microfiber cloth, a vacuum to get all the big dust off and give it a good dry dust, it makes it a lot easier and it gets it a lot cleaner. I'm using my Zep wall cleaner to clean the fans. This Zep stuff, I love it. And it works on so much more than just your walls. If you haven't tried it before, I highly recommend it. I love the way it smells. I love the way it cleans. Just everything about it. I use it literally all over my house.
Oh, baby, don't cry. 'Cause there's always
So we always are talking about cleaning routines, and I'm no different than anyone else. I think a cleaning routine is very important, but I think it is very important to figure out what is best for you, and if you are just starting out, to start out small. So I highly recommend, if you are just hanging out with me and watching and not cleaning along, grab a sheet of paper and let's just think of little tasks that you can implement into your daily routine that can make things a lot easier. Also, yes, don't laugh at me. I am putting the Swiffer in my shirt because I don't want to have to reach down every time I need to grab it. Uh, um, my husband always teases me that those are my extra pockets. But yes, so when I say start small, certain things that I highly recommend when you are just starting out to figure out your routine is quick 10-minute tidy up. Put that on your cleaning routine and do that 2 to 3 times a day. I recommend 3 times a day, but if you don't have time for that, just do 2 times a day. Once in the morning, once in the evening, just a 10-minute tidy. This is not cleaning. This is just going in your family room, your kitchen, and putting things back where they're supposed to be. And you want to focus on high traffic areas first. So don't worry about the kids' rooms right now. Let's be realistic. When we walk into our house, that is not what is giving us an overwhelming chaos feeling. It's going to be the family room, the kitchen, and maybe your bedroom. And if you can implement just 2 to 3 10-minute tidies a day to start out, it makes a huge difference. Another thing that I would put on a daily cleaning routine to start out is wiping down your kitchen counters. That is something that once you get into the habit, I'll be honest, I wipe down my kitchen counters pretty much every time I go into the kitchen, because let's be realistic, when you've got 4 kids and a husband, they're always dirty. Someone is always eating something, especially in the summer. When the boys are home from school, someone is always eating. Xander, especially right now, he is growing like a weed and eating like a grown man. So wiping down your counters, if you can at least get into the habit of doing it once a day, will make a huge difference. I know there's certain tasks, and the kitchen is one of them, that the big reason it's daunting is it's something that we have to do every single day. But I have learned by keeping up with those high traffic areas that, yes, we have to do every single day. Those tasks are snowball effect tasks. If your kitchen is clean, you're mentally going to feel so much better and so much more motivated to do other things in your home. Our goal with this cleaning routine for our daily stuff, and why we're picking simple, easy tasks in the beginning, is we're trying to create habits. If you can create those habits, they make cleaning feel so much easier in the long run and not so daunting. So pick a couple really easy tasks, and then as you get comfortable with it, add a couple more on. Like I said, getting comfortable with tidying up and the basics is always going to be your first start. And then you can move on to the more deep cleaning. And right now is the perfect time of year for that. We are soon going to be moving into spring cleaning. I know for a lot of you in the US, it's still way too cold to even be thinking about opening your windows and spring cleaning, but I promise it's not too far around the corner, and we are all going to be excited to be able to open up those windows, get some fresh air in. And I know I'm saying that as we're here in Florida, and this is actually the perfect time of year for us to open the windows. But hey, I grew up most of my life in Wisconsin, so I can definitely relate with you guys. My sister just messaged me this morning showing all the snow they got again, and I definitely don't envy her when it comes to that. I love snow. It is beautiful, and it's great to see it on Marco Polo or on TV.
You said it was the last time, but you keep coming back to tell me sorry that you take back all the things you said just to hurt me. Our love just went cold, but I'm still burning.
All right, so we talked about if you're just starting up, but let's say you have that routine down and we're trying to tackle maybe some of the areas in your house that are a little bit bigger of a task and a little bit more overwhelming. I can definitely relate with you when it comes to feeling stressed out and overwhelmed over a project. So I want you to break it down. Don't think about the whole project. If it's your craft room, break it down into quadrants. If it's one corner of at a time, one section at a time, but break it down. It is one way to make it feel so much less overwhelming instead of being like, oh my goodness, I have to clean, declutter, and organize my entire craft room. Go in there today and be like, hey, I'm just going to go around and pick up all the trash today. That's all I'm going to do is pick up the trash, making it a more manageable situation. And if you're not wanting to do it by task like that, give yourself a timer. What I have noticed with timers that not only is it less overwhelming, but you also get a lot more done when you're focused like that. Now, this tip is important. You need to remember to pace yourself. It's really important to sit down and take a break because if you wear yourself out today, you're no good pretty much the rest of the week. So remember to take some time for yourself. Now, that can involve bunch of different things. If that's sitting down and watching your favorite show or taking a hot shower, I actually just enjoy sitting down when it's quiet and playing some games on my phone. I'm always looking for a new game to play, and recently I have been addicted with Solitaire Smash. I love how I can jump in for just a few minutes and instantly feel challenged and entertained. What I love about this version of Solitaire is it's fast-paced, so you can play in tournaments and win real cash prizes, but honestly, I just get a rush from the win. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this game has no ads, so you can play without getting interrupted, and once you win the cash, you can easily withdraw to PayPal or Apple Pay. They really did think about everything on this one. On this day, I also had to go to a doctor's appointment, and one of the things I love about winning cash from this game is I have been spoiling myself, so whenever I am out running errands or like today, going to a doctor's appointment, I like to treat myself to a coffee or just some sort of treat for me. So if you're like me and you love a fun challenge or you just need a new game to pass the time, check out Solitaire Smash. I'll leave the QR code here on the screen, but also you can get the link in my description box below as well. It's so much fun and it's free, so make sure to let me know what your high score is in the comments below. And a big thanks to Solitaire Smash for sponsoring today's video and you guys for always supporting me when I have sponsored content. But once I got back from the doctor's appointment, it was time to tackle the kitchen, which this is pretty much a daily situation. It's rare that I get to it the night before. You guys know me. I'm just so exhausted by the end of the day that I usually do the majority of my cleaning during the day. But it's really important to figure out which routine works best for you. Remember, not every routine is meant for everybody. A lot of people are morning people and they'll be better doing stuff in the morning. Some people get their peak energy at night, and it's crazy to see how many people just like bust out a whole house clean and it's dark outside. I'm definitely not one of those people. So really just focusing and figuring out what works best for you. For me, I work best definitely like late morning to afternoon to get everything done.
Like a train, you'll hear me coming from 100 miles away.
As a busy mom, I also know it is so important to involve the family when it comes to cleaning. And there's multiple reasons for this. One, it's to help yourself out. Don't let the burden of keeping the house in order all on your shoulders. You are not the only one that lives in your house. Your husband, your kids, if your mother-in-law or mother or father-in-law or anyone lives in the house, you shouldn't be doing it all by yourself. But two, it's great to teach kids responsibilities, and obviously all age appropriate. I know we have different chores for each kid, and it varies from the time of year also. So this time of year, honestly, during the week, the kids' chores are a lot more simple. They will unload the dishwasher at least once a day. Usually the dishwasher gets ran more than once a day. So when they get home from school, if the dishwasher is clean, they will unload it. They also help with the animals, and as well as obviously their room and their bathroom is their responsibility for just like daily maintenance cleaning in there. And then when it comes to the summer, we obviously expect a little bit more. They're home all day long, which means one, they're making a lot more messes, but two, they're not having the stress of school. I am one of those parents that, well, like Xander. Xander doesn't get home till 4:30 in the afternoon from school. And honestly, I'm not going to have him do this huge chore list. He comes home, he does his homework right away. I make dinner and we eat. And I want to give the kid a couple hours to just relax before bed. So I don't stress out when it comes to chores during the week, during the school year. But I also do think it's really important. If you were actually watching our not most recent, our last family vlog, what was that, Sunday? Xander was outside helping Bobby with taking apart the trampoline and stuff. So one, it helps us out, but also it's just teaching them basic life skills, things that when they move out of the house, they're going to want to know. Bobby was just telling the boys the other day how growing up, he didn't know how to wash his laundry and things like that because his mom just did it for him. And there's nothing against that. As a mom, I often feel like, oh, one, it's easier when you do it yourself. But two, I don't know, it just feels right. I'm the mom, I should do it. But at the same time, I do want to make sure that they are well-functioning adults when they get older. So I do find it really, really important to involve your family. Make sure your husband's helping out, make sure your kids are helping out, even if it's just in little things. I just ordered this. I'm curious what the size is actually going to be because it seems pretty small. But I was hoping that this will work for my junk drawer. So we're going to give this a try and see how it works. But I kind of like the idea that it's level, like layered, to hide the stuff you don't use as often, but use some of that vertical space in this drawer. So let's see.
Someone to save me, no, and don't come running to blame me. From miles away I can tell there's something's off. The way you look and how you pause when you talk, I think you said enough. You said your love for me something brand new. You said this is something you would never do. Here we are in your car, let me see who you are, who you really are. Yeah.
So when I first got this box, I'm like, I don't know how this is going to work. This is a really little box, but this ended up working really, really well. It is a little flimsy, but it's not bad. And I really was just looking for something. This is our junk drawer. And I feel like everyone has a junk drawer in their kitchen or at least somewhere in their house. I know for us, it's really important. It holds a lot of things that we grab for regularly. And I just needed something for all those like random little things that I may not grab all the time, but because this drawer is deep enough, it was taking up a good amount of space. And if I could just use the vertical space, it would make my life so much easier. And this worked really, really well for it. So I put the things that we grab for regularly on top still. So Sharpie markers, highlighters, pencils, things like that. And then in the bottom, I ended up putting all the things that we need available, but we aren't grabbing for multiple times a day. So nail clippers, tape, extra keys to the house, glue, chargers, things like that that aren't being grabbed like multiple times a day, I put on this lower area. But it was nice because then I was able to make the space over here. So one, the bigger things like the tape measure, that's something that I love having in this drawer because when I need it, I need it. Bobby actually bought me this one specifically, so I would stop stealing his from the garage and it would stop going missing. But then our scissors and things like that, and it's a lot more, one, visually appealing. I find that when it comes to keeping something clean and organized, the more visually appealing I can make it, the more apt I am to keep it looking nice, and the family is to keeping it looking nice. So I try and change things up to figure out what works best. Don't be afraid to move things around. Don't be afraid that, oh, well, I just organized this and it's already a mess. Organization and decluttering is not a one and done situation. It is something that you want to keep up with on a regular basis. And don't be afraid if the first time you organize it, it doesn't work. It's definitely a learning curve where you're going to do it a couple times and then figure out what works best for you. And your life may change. What works for you now may not work for you in 6 months. I know with having Athena, I feel like what we need in our house and how we need to get organized right now is changing all the time because she is just at an age where stuff is always changing. We actually just got her this height chair and these toys. I found them on Facebook Marketplace. I talked about this the other day on our family vlog channel because it was a crazy deal. I went to get this height chair for $35. You guys know me. I don't love buying baby things brand new and full price. They just don't use them long enough for the price of a brand new item to make sense to me. So I love the either Once Upon a Child, like resale type shops for her, or Facebook Marketplace. And this was a Facebook Marketplace. So I went to get the high chair, $35. I'm like, okay, perfect. This is a great deal. And ended up getting not only the high chair, but these 2 other toys as well for free. He's like, hey, I'm just trying to get rid of some of this stuff. So if your little girl could use it, you can just have it. And I obviously picked it up real quick. But before she could play with anything, I obviously wanted to make sure everything was really well cleaned and disinfected. So I'm just taking it all apart. All the toys that I could throw in the sink, I ended up throwing in the sink to let them soak before scrubbing them down. And then all the hard pieces I sprayed down with Pine Sol, and I let it sit for a good hour. It literally had dried at that point, and then I resprayed it down to wipe it down. But I wanted to make sure it was really, really clean before she used it. But honestly, I would do the same thing if I bought it brand new because you just never know the factories that they're coming out of.
Soul searching, fall apart, tunnel vision, hiding in the dark. Well, I ain't gonna holler before I really bleed. Salvation, a quick fix remedy. You said I never could change. I thought I never could change. They said
Another tip I want to highly recommend is incorporating technology. We live in a day and age nowadays where there are so many things to help keeping your house clean so much easier. And I know some of these things can be little bit more pricey. And I've talked about how I like to ask for like Amazon gift cards for birthdays or holidays to help when I'm looking to purchase something that's a little bit more expensive. But the nice thing is nowadays you can also find a lot of these items once again on Facebook Marketplace. A lot of times people are getting rid of their old robot vacuums because they got a new one, or their old wet dry vacuums because they got a new one, things like that. So if you can incorporate technology, it helps a ton. When it comes to keeping my floors clean, my robot vacuum is my saving grace because my floors are always getting dirty between kids in and out of the house, pets in and out of the house, all of those things, dog hair alone. So if you can incorporate technology, that is one thing that's going to make your life easier. And I know a lot of people are still so hesitant about the idea like, oh, we went so many years without having these things, so why should I get one now? And it's just one of those things of why not? Why not? If they have something out there to make your life easier, if you can, I highly recommend incorporating it. They also have some great apps nowadays that can make it a lot easier to just keeping up with a routine. I am not someone that uses checklists, but I know for a lot of people, checklists are one way to really keep them, one, on task, but two, motivated. The idea of just being able to check something off your list can be super motivating. And remember, everyone's a little bit different. So figuring out what that is for you is going to be what makes it easier. And you may not figure it out right away. It's definitely taken me years of just trial and error to figure out what works for me. I have said this before, but I so wish I would have started this YouTube journey way back when Bobby and I were first married after having Xander and everything, because that was definitely a phase in my life where I was a young 20s mom and I definitely didn't have it all figured out. I was just trying to figure it out. So yes, I am now, I just had my birthday. I am 34 as of February 4th, mom of 4. And so I may make it look easy to a lot of you, but I've had a lot of years and a lot of practice and a lot of times doing it wrong to figure out the right way that works for me. So incorporate those technology if you can. Don't let society be like, oh, you don't need that. That's lazy. Don't listen to them. It's not lazy. It's being smart. Haven't you ever heard work smarter, not harder? That is what we are always focusing on this channel. What is the easiest way to get things clean with less work? Because I don't love cleaning, but I know having a clean space, a more organized space, reduces stress, reduces anxiety, and makes me a happier person. And then when I am happier, it makes me a better wife, a better mother, and all of those things are just really important when taking care of the family.
I ain't afraid of the dark, 'cause once you let the light in, you won't see the beautiful stars shining down from afar. No, I ain't afraid of the dark.
So let me know in the comments below one simple task you're going to get done today that's going to make your life easier. Pick one area of your house that's a high traffic area that if you get that done today, it's going to make you feel so much better. And I'm going to challenge you to do that. Just one area. If you are like not feeling motivated today, not feeling overwhelmed, do just one little thing. I always tell you guys that the hardest part is just starting. So I'm hoping that I can be your motivation to just tackle one thing today. And if that's all you do, That's okay. I'm going to say this pretty much every single video. So if you're new here, you're going to get sick of hearing me say, but it's so important that it is about progress and it's not about perfection. Don't worry about the perfection. Just worry about the progress, because the more you do a little bit at a time every single day, I don't want to say perfection will come, but you will see your home transform over the next couple of months by just implementing a couple of these tips a little at a time. Just getting into the habit of one small thing a day will make all the difference in the world. You don't have to do a whole Sunday reset. Honestly, that would stress me out if I was like, oh, today is my cleaning day, so I have to do everything. Don't stress yourself out. It doesn't have to be this big, overwhelming task. I know, especially with spring coming around, we're always like, oh, spring cleaning. And you will see spring cleaning videos on my channel. But I also tell you guys all the time that if you wait on tasks till spring, that's when it is the most overwhelming. Once you have a good daily routine figured out, that's when I'm going to recommend starting to figure out what are those monthly cleaning things that have to be done, or bi-weekly, or even yearly things. And then if you can make a list of those and break them down, like this month I'm going to do this and next month I'm going to do that, it is so much better than being like, it's spring, so I have to clean all my windows and the washing machine and the dishwasher and the oven and whatever else is on that normal spring cleaning list. If you break it down and just tackle a little bit throughout the year, you're never getting stressed out over these huge projects come spring.
I get dressed up to go downtown. I'm all messed up on a Friday night. Not really here for a good time, but if you're up for drinks and a good crowd, raise your glass to the sky. Let's toast to that. All these people can stare. I don't care about that.
Now, I want you to set a goal for yourself. This can be a cleaning goal, a time goal. So maybe you don't have a specific task, but you want to give yourself a time frame. Like, I'm going to do 30 minutes today. And with that goal, I want you to give yourself a reward. And this reward can be anything you want it to be. Also, don't mind the milk stains on my nightstand. That is from middle of the night pumps. I am going to be cleaning that. But fairly common on my nightstand because I don't pay as much attention when it's 2 in the morning. Sorry, sidetracked. But give yourself a reward. If that is, I get to go take a hot shower for 20 minutes by myself, or I'm going to go get that coffee, or I'm going to just go browse Marshalls or Home Goods, whatever works for you. I'm going to take 20 minutes to read a book and just relax. But give yourself a goal and give yourself a reward. I feel like often as homemakers, we get told that it's a privilege to be a homemaker and that we should just be appreciative that we're homemakers and we're home. And don't get me wrong, I am very appreciative that I can be home and taking care of my kids, but it's also work, and you wouldn't go to any 9-to-5 job and not get paid for it. So giving yourself goals and then giving yourself a reward for reaching those goals is not selfish at all. It is self-care, and we need to focus on ourselves to be the best moms, wives we can be. Husbands, I don't know, maybe you're a stay-at-home dad and you're watching this, but it is not selfish to want to reward yourself for completing a task. So set a goal today and set a reward today. Whatever reward you want to do. These rewards don't have to cost you anything, or they could cost you anything. Maybe you want to go get your hair done. Maybe you want to get a pedicure. Whatever is going to motivate you to reach your goal, that's what I want you to do. And I don't want you to feel bad about rewarding yourself because you feel like, oh, well, this is my job, so I should just do it to do it. No, everyone has jobs and they still get compensated for said jobs. So I'm not showing this whole haircut situation for Bjorn on here, but I wanted to show why the floors were as messy in their bathroom as they were. And part of the reason that kind of got me onto doing their bathroom, I haven't done a good deep clean on their bathroom in probably about 2 weeks, but especially with cutting his hair, he just needed a little trim. I decided I would go in here and do just a little bit more than the basic wipe downs, but starting with vacuuming because I was not about to track hair throughout the entire house. So normally I wouldn't vacuum till the end of cleaning the bathroom, but on this day we are starting out with that task.
If you believe in love, how will I feel it? If you believe in me, how will you let me?
Another thing I think is really important when it comes to maintaining a clean house is being able to learn from others. I have honestly learned so much from this community here on YouTube. And I'm not just talking about other cleaning influencers, even though they are amazing also. I highly recommend following a couple people because you may learn something from me and someone else all at the same time, or you may find that someone else has a routine that might work a little bit better for you. A couple I really, really love is Jamie from Jamie's Journey. She's one of my favorites. Jessie from Jessie at Home. I love her. She's actually one of my best friends. But there are so many other ones out here. Amanda from This Crazy Life. No matter your situation, I promise you, there is a cleaning influencer, mommy influencer on this YouTube that you'll be able to find that will give you tips and tricks. Like I said, I watch them all. Lauren Midgley is always very enjoyable. Michelle O'Malley, just the list goes on and on. So make sure you follow all of them, but also leave any tips you guys have in the comments below. Like I said, a lot of my tips and tricks I have learned from you guys. Things like washing the curtains and not drying them. Just hanging them straight up. That way I don't have to iron because you guys know I hate ironing, but obviously I don't want my curtains to be all wrinkly. That is something one of you guys recommended, and it has been a game changer. Actually, I just had one of you guys recommend when it came to my curtains is hooking the first and last hook in the middle to one ring, which I have not done yet, but I need to do because that's genius. So every time we shut our curtains at night, we don't have to shut each individual panel. They'll pull together. So I have learned so much from you guys, and you guys are always in the comments supporting each other and everything. So like always, leave them that info in the comments below. Not only do I appreciate it, but I'm sure there are so many other people that read through the comments that really, really appreciate it. Also, if you've got something on your to-do list today, leave that in the comments below. Let us know what you need to get done today so that we can encourage you, and come back and let us know when you completed that. I feel like often we just need to have someone holding us accountable, but also feeling like we're not alone. It can be very lonely sometimes, being a homemaker, especially if you're like me and you're like, okay, I want mom friends, but at the same time, like, I don't like small talk and peopling. Yes, I know those two things don't go together, but I know I'm not alone. I am a total homebody. And yes, I love having mom friends, but at the same time, I'm like, but I kind of just want to stay at home and chill with my kids and family. So you guys are like my mom friends that I get to hang out with every week, and I love each and every one of you, especially if you made it this far in the video. If you've made it this far, you are a true MVP, and you guys know that I always really, really appreciate you. And actually, for that, let's drop the praying hands emoji. I don't think I've ever done that one, so that one might be fun. So if you made it this far, you are my MVPs, and I want to see all the praying hand emojis down below.
Sundown and salty cheeks. It's not a cute look getting kicked out of the bar when you're no longer 19. Still acting like a child, feeling like nobody gets it. I always start these fights, don't hate my guts right now, 'cause I'm still figuring it out. You're the silver lining when I can't seem to find it.
Well, as always, I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you for joining me in today's video. I hope you learned some tips and tricks that's just going to help you out throughout the day and weekend. Also, if you're new here, I would love if you would subscribe and join us. We have the best community here on YouTube. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. That is just one way that always really, really helps out my channel, and I appreciate each and every one of you that does that for me. I'm always recognizing you guys that are here every single week that are leaving me comments and encouragement and messaging me on Instagram. You guys are the best. Like I said, this is the best community on YouTube, and I couldn't be here without you guys. So as always, I love you guys. Thank you so, so much. Before I forget, don't miss out on Solitaire Smash. QR code is here. Also, it is linked in my description box below. You guys are going to have so much fun, but I will see you next time. Bye.